Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to share, I'm sitting here out in the front yard. Let's do a little roundabout. It's a gorgeous day. There's a walker. And that's as far as I can go with my arm. And I gotta come back. And I just wanted to, share some of my thoughts this morning. So I was listening to a message on forgiveness, mythical forgiveness versus mind forgiveness. And I think where I'm at these days is that we're all being asked to spiritually bypass our emotions. We're being asked to forgive others when we're not ready. And I think this is where I'm at. And people are welcome to agree or disagree. I'm just showing you the other side that I couldn't do before. And so what I think it is that when people ask us that, or tell us honestly, that we need to forgive others in order for us to heal, what that does is it completely negates the right that we have to feel anger. And I think that is what needs to be explored first. That if we have been harmed and we go straight to forgiveness or attempting to get to forgiveness, I feel that is just, it's not going to stick. See there, you can see me right there in my robe. It's about 40 degrees outside. And that's asking us to forgive somebody before we're really ready. And I think this is where we are as a society. We're being asked to forgive before we acknowledge that we have every right to be angry. I think we have been taught to make ourselves small, part by the religious culture, and just part by the world culture. Just forgive. You just forgive others. Turn the other cheek, as Jesus said, right? But this is the reality. When we have been harmed, we hold those memories within ourselves. And if we don't honor that piece and say we deserve better, in spite of what the other person was capable of doing, if we don't acknowledge that we did deserve better and that we do have a right to be angry, then I really feel that that's just spiritual bypassing. And if we don't heal that actual wound within us, and say, you did deserve better, honey, you did, then that trauma is still going to reside within the body. And I think we're just spiritually bypassing it. And then when another trigger comes, we're going to be triggered again. And we're going to be angry again. And so I think if we want to do real healing, I think we need to start with honoring that we have every right to be angry and sitting with that. And when you do that, when you own up to the piece that you are permitted, you have a right to be angry, you create new thresholds and boundaries for people to be in your life. And when you do that, you will create a space of safety for you, where you will recognize those red flags much sooner, and you will walk away and say, this is not a healthy relationship for me to be in or to engage in with this other individual. So that is where I am at right now. And I'm also doing EMDR to actually release the trauma within my body. So the forgiveness is one piece. And what I'm learning to do right now, before I can get to forgiveness, I get to acceptance of what happened and acknowledging that I did the best that I could, and that I stayed in an unhealthy, abusive relationship where the man put his hands around my neck and was killing me, literally killing me, until for whatever reason he chose to change his mind. And I am learning to accept and am working towards forgiveness for myself for staying in such an unhealthy relationship. I don't focus on the other person. I say I deserved better, but I was taught in my early childhood to minimize myself, to forgive others, to forgive them, when really they aren't worthy of being forgiven because they haven't changed their ways. But I am learning to accept and forgive myself for having stayed, and I'm learning new coping mechanisms, healthy coping mechanisms, healthy boundaries, healthy belief systems that will help me to remain safe in the future. So hopefully this little video of me bebopping around my neighborhood, just showing what I'm looking at right now as I'm sharing this. You know, I just think asking people to forgive when they're not ready, not willing, not able, it's harming. It's harming that individual. Allow people to feel grief and anger. Help them to recognize that they are worthy of being safe within their own home, within their own bodies, within their own world, and to create a healthy belief system. And only after that has been accomplished can they actually learn to forgive. And I don't know that it's a matter of forgiving the other person. I think it's just a matter of forgiving what happened. And it's more focused on themselves, that they allowed themselves to be in that space where it happened. And then you just move on after that as best as you can. And you just do your best every day that you can. And that's what I'm learning. So, blessings to you on this Saturday of Easter weekend, to whatever extent you may celebrate. I am what I would call a recovering Christian. I am a follower of Christ consciousness, meaning just don't be a dick. That's it. And if you can ascribe to that and follow that, you're probably doing better than a lot of other Christians who, I don't know, ascribe to a different belief system.